We are literally just sitting here coming up with, in my opinion, all better ideas than this dog shit ass garbage that they thought of. And we are not developers. That is extremely disturbing. As annoying as it is to wait for flying, why time gate flying even more? I'd like to be able to world PvP a little before it becomes totally dead with flying, so I'm glad they extended it. Wow, what a surprise, a monk wants to PvP. I do not think that flying is a detriment to world PvP entirely. I don't think so. And the reason why I don't think so is because I remember I was there, oh my god, 10 years ago, during the Mists of Pandaria pre-patch, where they introduced cross-realm zones. And there were 100 versus 100 wars all over Azeroth, all over the place. People were flying everywhere. It was the greatest experience I've ever had. Like, the entire floor of Blasted Lands near the Dark Portal was covered in skeletons. You literally could not even see the ground. It was just that covered in skeletons. It was the coolest and best time that I ever did world PvP in WoW, ever, and it had flying. I think the idea that you need flying, or you need to not have flying for world PvP is fucking wrong. I don't think that's true at all. Like, for example, BFA, unironically, had some of the best innovations in world PvP that Blizzard has ever done. The boxes that spawn, like the supply drops, fucking brilliant. Do we get supply drops in Shadowlands on war mode? Why? Why not? Why? Those are really cool. Who would drop them? I don't know. Just make it up. A Draka drops them in Maldraxxus on one of the Plague Wings, because Maldraxxus is all about who's the strongest. Is Horde stronger than the Alliance? Well, let's find out whenever I drop down this box. Boom, there we go. Oh, wow. Denathrius drops down a box in Revendreth because it's all about sins and greed. So who's truly the greediest of them all? We're going to drop down some precious anima for you to fight over. You know, like, you can easily come up with lore and rationalizations for these things. Yeah, they had a literal Colosseum. Bro, does anybody know about this? Look, let me get on the game real quick. Real issue is locking flying behind grinds and renown other walls. Isn't really that we have to do something to earn it. Flying itself is busted and requires these heavy-handed solutions to not completely trivialize other parts of the game. The issue is level design. Flying is not just a convenience. It allows you to effectively skip a portion of the game in order to get to the end goal, as pointed out here. That's because people don't want to have to run around the whole map every single time that they want to get something done. I actually like flying in WoW. I think flying is a good thing for WoW, and I think flying can empower world PvP. I think that people look at flying being bad for world PvP and flying being bad in the game, and they look at it from the perspective of, I am a classic Andy. Open up your fucking mind. Think about something beyond that. Going back to classic WoW should not be the goal. Going forward past classic WoW into something better should be the goal. So back in BFA, or sorry, back at the other bad one, back in WoD, you used to be able to talk to this guy right here, and you would queue up into a Colosseum. It was a complete free-for-all deathmatch, where all players could go into it if they had rank 3 of this different, of this, whatever it's called, this building here. And you could queue into it, and everybody would fight each other. And I wanted to do it myself. I wanted to do it on my stream and have everybody do it, because nobody's probably, one of these Colosseums probably hasn't been queued in 3 years. People don't even remember what it was like. Let me see if I can find a video and show you. Okay, yeah, here we go. The good old days, boys. The good old days. So, like, everybody would be raised up, and you'd get all your stuff, and everybody would sit there waiting, and, like, you could stand. Like, I would always stand right there. That was always the place I would stand, was line of sight.
Coltrane, you're in here. Hey,
so, like, yeah. Wait, Coltrane?
Okay,
he's on my stream sometimes.
This is what we're gonna do. This is the strategy to winning. So, right now there's 2, 4...
So, like, yeah, basically it turns to, like, a complete free-for-all. Everybody can kill everybody. And, like, then after you die, you go up into the rafters and you watch to see who's gonna die. It's so fucking cool, man. And, like, it's just, this is another element of just completely dead content. Why is this not a brawl? Huh? Why? Why is it not a brawl? They're just so... Oh, it drives me crazy. Why is it so badly managed? They don't play the game? Oh, God. It's just so, like, they literally forgot about it. That's why. That's why I wanted to be on the council. That's why I wanted to talk to developers. Because I'm not going to sound, I'm going to sound like an ego Andy here, but I bet I know the game better than most of the developers do. I'd say probably almost all of them. I know more about the game and I've played it longer. They might be better at PvP than I am, or better at raiding, but I'd say that's about it. Like, I have played this game a whole fucking lot, and I know a lot about it. And it's just, to see these guys and, like, the changes they make, just copy the WoW Final Fantasy Aether Currents and just charge a small fee for a license, let people fly day one. The Aether Currents, I think, also kind of suck. Like, I don't think they're that great. Aether Currents should not be the gold standard. So this is what I wanted them to do for BFA flying, or Shadowlands flying. I wanted it to be, the patch comes out, you can fly. The way you unlock flying is you get on a flying mount and you press spacebar. That's it. That's literally it. Because I guarantee you, if you had something like that come out, everybody would log on. Everybody would fucking log on, man. They would be like, oh my God, I want to check out flying. I want to see what this is like. Just maybe for like a day. But some of them will come back and it looks cool. That patch day that everybody is logging on and they all go in the air and take flight for the first time. That to me is worth so much, to be part of that moment where it happens. Personally don't like Aether Currents, but they're easy. Yeah, they're easy. Yeah, they're fine. You have to make players jump through hoops, Zach. Yeah, you don't have to. Multi-boxers would like that a lot. No, they won't. They're banned. That just becomes, then it will just become common and no fun eventually. No, because you don't do the same thing every time. Here's the problem. The Legion assaults were really cool. The BFA assaults were like, okay. The Maw assaults were like, oh my God, another one? Pathfinder and WoD was like, okay, cool. Well, we can get flying now. Pathfinder and BFA was like, or in Legion is like, okay, well, we have Pathfinder again. And Pathfinder and BFA is like, oh, well, all right, how's it gonna work this time? And then, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, you don't just do the same thing over again. You see what I mean? Come on. It's tiresome. Yeah, it's boring. So we're doing Final Fantasy Punchdown anymore, doing everything you can, not Final Fantasy system, weakness, and copying. No, because Final Fantasy is not the only way of doing it. See, the reason why Final Fantasy is good, Final Fantasy A Realm Reborn, a lot of these systems and the holdovers from Final Fantasy A Realm Reborn that were removed in Heavensward and onward were holdovers from World of Warcraft. Final Fantasy did not really, it feels to me, from what I've seen and like how the different classes have evolved and changed, that they did not really come into their own until they stopped being derivative from another game. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's, so you said Path of Exile also tries to do new things all the time. Yeah, don't be derivative of another game. Like, you can take good ideas. Like, there are a lot of good ideas that WoW has, and Final Fantasy didn't change them. They're like, okay, this works, great, we're gonna move on. And I totally agree with that. Do not reinvent the wheel. If you've got a wheel and it's rolling, keep the bitch rolling. You don't need to change it. Most times I get grinded out of flying. I'm so burnt out with the grind I don't want to play anymore. It's just boring. That's all it comes down to. It's just fucking boring. Final Fantasy, yeah, there's no WoW versus Final Fantasy. Play whatever game you want. Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to constantly validate your own decision of a video game you're playing by shitting on the other one. Who cares? Like, it's not that big of a deal. How about you get flying achievement from exploring all these new zones by land? What if, like, so, like, let's take, like, the Heavensward quest line, right? And, like, in Final Fantasy. You know, like, where you have to fly up to Alisla? What if WoW had a feature kind of like that? And you had a quest line that was spanning for, like, three weeks or something like that. Like, the same as they did with the Legion quest line. And then on the third week of the quest line, you had to fly into the sepulcher of the first ones or into some distant area in the sky, and there's no way you can really get there without flying. And by finishing the quest line, you unlock flying and you go up there. That would be really cool, right? There are so many, and like, just think about it right here. We are literally just sitting here coming up with, in my opinion, all better ideas than this dog shit ass garbage that they thought of. And we are not developers. That is extremely disturbing. That's not hard, though. It's not about being hard. I don't care about the game being hard. all these people care about hard games, I guarantee you that they're probably sitting there farming normal mode or heroic with a stacked group, and they have no idea what half of the mechanics for the bosses do. These people don't care about hard. They care about being perceived as what they're doing is hard. They're like, oh, well, I want my massive time investment to be respected by other players. It never will be, because it's just a fucking participation award. Large time investment achievements are just participation awards. They're just a big one. It's fake. Yeah, they farm normal parses. This will make people not even play 9.2. Remember when you got level cap and mop and just bought flying? You just buy it. You just buy it with the fucking gold, and there it is. So why is it like that if we're not even devs? Because the people that are working there, here's why I think it is like that. Here's my honest opinion and my armchair evaluation of why Blizzard can't develop the game properly. I think that it is a mixture of an extremely hostile workforce, or workplace, excuse me, where people are getting not like the sexually abusive stuff. I think is the tip of the iceberg. I think that you have all other types of coercion, all other types of putting people down, all other types of just negativity and just like weird office politics going on, and all of this stuff, right? Workplace drama. That's one big reason. Another big reason is because of the escalation that the players have had with the developers. I have never seen a company, I would say every other games company combined, is still less than the vitriol and negativity that Blizzard employees put out against their own player base and their own audience. I see more negativity and more degrading and more just like in general fucking like just talking shit about their own player base and customers out of Blizzard than every other games company put together. Vitriol, yeah, like belittling, hostility, exactly. So that's another big reason, is that I think the developers feel like they are at odds with the player base. So they don't want to incorporate ideas the player base might have, because there's this like adversarial relationship that the player base has with the developers. You think because they always fuck up? Yeah, sure. I don't know about that. Their devs only respond to people who talk shit about them. Oh, I don't know about that either. But like what I'm saying is, like in general, I feel like Blizzard, like they do this all the time. That's because developing a good game not as simple as you make it out to be. Ideas without considering all consequences. It'd have to be unfairly easy. If making a game isn't as simple as I make it out to be, then why was Tom Chilton even a professional game developer? Alex Afrasiabi was a fucking freak show piece of shit. But still, he wasn't a game developer. Like Ghostcrawler was a marine biologist. Ian is an attorney. So if it's so complicated and hard, then how are the people that ran the game? Jeff Kaplan, yeah. How are all these people that ran the game not professional game developers? You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't need a degree to see if something is good or not. Like, there's not... Kevin Jordan was a bartender. Yeah. I mean, really, like, how can you just think this? So I'm in prison, I only get convict lawyers? What I'm saying is, yeah, because they know how to get out, right? People confuse content developer with engineer. Engineers code. Directors are the one to define the game systems and lore. Yeah. I mean, an engineer? Yeah, of course you need somebody that actually knows what the fuck they're doing, right? Yeah, absolutely. But, like, you're talking about, like, making a system. I don't think that you really need to be you need to be, like, a trained in this, and it's this super complicated, hard thing to understand. I think that it's just people that don't know what they're doing. You have plans for 9.2? Yeah, I'll play 9.2 for sure. Just see what it's like, make videos about it. The usual. I love the game. Like, I love WoW. Like, I always love WoW. I just wish it was, I wish it was managed better. Because I feel like what really upsets me the most about it is the lost opportunities. The lost opportunities that we never got a chance to see, you know, different things in the Shadowlands that we could have seen. Lost opportunities of incredible characters that we just see thrown away, like Devos, for example. Lost opportunities and a lack of fulfillment of potential. I think that's what frustrates me the most. You have collecting things in WoW, you don't like completing anything difficult in WoW anymore? Well, of course not, because it means nothing and nobody cares about it. Why would I want to do something that just takes a lot of effort that nobody cares about? If you're talking about lost opportunities, look at this. 5 forgotten features in WoW. Oh, the Rex Troy video?